Hello everyone, it is Briximus Prime, back for another Star Wars The Black Series Gaming Greats action figures review, and today we're going to be looking at the Black Series Republic Commando Fixer and Sev. So anyway, let's just get right on into the review by starting with the packaging. And taking a look at the packaging here, it looks exactly like the previously reviewed Boss's packaging that I took a look at. And I love all this artwork on the background and everything. And it's got some stuff here on the back. It's got some bios right there. I've got a lot of great memories from Republic Commando. You know, always blasting droids and Geonosians, and above all else, having to constantly get back to soldier. Here is Sev and Fixer's accessories here. Sev comes with his own individual backpack, and I'm showing this one off first because this is an exact reuse of the one that came with the Boss and a bunch of the Bad Batch, only it's painted up in Sev's very unique looking paint scheme, and you can see some subtle bits of battle damage and everything, and I really love how it came out. And Fixer here is more unique. His has got some retooled parts on it with these extra antenna bits and everything, and the green paint is always appreciated as well. Both of the backpacks both have this little, this T-shaped hole right there with the same kind of corresponding peg, and they both just plug right on there. And then both of these guys come with blasters. Fixer here comes with the exact same blaster that was included with Boss and some of the Bad Batch figures. And it's a very nice blaster. Love this gun in the game. Can't remember the exact name. I am purposefully forgetting it, so you guys can interact with my comment section. You're welcome. And then Sev comes with that same gun, only it has the sniper attachment that I remember having from the game. And this looks really good, and again, I like having that little bit of difference between the figures, even if it's through the accessories or the paint schemes. And with blasters in hand, these guys just look fully equipped to take out some clankas, or take some command posts.
Art, I don't want to alarm you.
A command post is now under hostile control.
And starting off our review by taking a look at Fixer. I love how Fixer looks. He's not necessarily my favorite of the squad, but he is definitely one of the coolest clones out there. The Republic Commandos have always been some of the coolest of the clones out there, especially in Star Wars Battlefront and a bunch of those other video games. I especially love the glowing visor and how they depicted it in the metallic silver, or the metallic blue. I also love the green paint and the white. Everything looks good. And also, I appreciate the retooled part right here on the helmet of the little antenna. Again, just gives him that little bit of difference that definitely makes him feel unique, not just through his paint scheme. And also, going over the paint scheme, he does have a lot of this little scuffed up battle damage. He also has this little 2 dots right there, which signifies that he's the second in command of the squad. And overall, the sculpting and everything is pretty nice. I don't really got much to say about the sculpting, like the battle damage and everything, because I did talk about this already in both my Bad Batch video as well as my Clone Commando Boss video. So I did kind of go over a lot of it in the first place. And that's why I'm doing a double review on both Sev and Fixer instead of doing their own individual videos, because they're basically the same thing as that figure and the same thing to themselves. So overall, I don't really got much to say other than that the paint scheme and the green stripes, everything looks good, nothing looks all chipped and painted, which again, if he did have chipped paint, it would just look like more battle damage on his paint scheme and just a bunch of weathering. So yeah, overall, I think Fixer here is pretty good and a fine addition to my collection. And oh, Sev, my favorite clone out of the Delta Squad group. I love how he looks. Even though he wasn't Tamora Morrison or any of the classic clone voices, he was my favorite voice for a clone trooper throughout the whole game. And he was really fun to have. I really like Sev, and I love the way how he looks too. And especially how he's got this very, very interesting paint scheme here. He definitely looks like he's the Doom music is kicked in with Sev, which there's been a big fan theory going around that Sev is actually covered in dried blood, not actual red paint. But that's a different topic for another channel for another day. Again, I like the metallic blue there in the visor, these bits of blue on the shoulder pads. I don't remember him having this much gray in the chest, but honestly, I don't mind it. And again, I love the backpack, adds that extra bit of detail, and bulk to him. And overall, I think everything is sculpted and painted pretty well. And again, just like on Fixer, if anything was chipped or looks off, I just count it as battle damage. So honestly, there's nothing much else to really say here. This guy doesn't really have any retooled parts. The only brand new piece this guy comes with is his gun. So I honestly don't really got much to say. And also, just very similar to Boss as well, these guys also have the same exact amount of posability. Ball joint in the head allows them to look up and down. The shoulder pads here are a soft, pliable plastic, so they move out of the way of the arms moving outward. There's also a very subtle and almost unusable butterfly joint in the arm there. I appreciate that Hasbro went the extra mile with that, but honestly, the butterfly joint is kind of subtle that you can barely even notice it's there, but again, I appreciate the effort. Bend at the elbow, swivel at the elbow, swivel and hinge joints at the wrists, ball jointed diaphragm, which allows for arching back, crunch, as well as some side to side, and of course some waist swiveling as well. Hips can kick forward, because you do have to kind of rotate the thigh a bit to get them to actually kick out that far, so the leg kind of goes a little bit sideways, so just giving you guys a heads up on that. Legs can move outward that far, and there's the thigh swivel that I mentioned. Bend at the knee. Knees are also on an independent swivel. Ankles can't really move up all that far, but they can hinge down that far. Some ankle pivot, as well as peg holes at the bottom of their feet. So very good articulation on both of these guys. Here they are for comparisons. Here they are compared with another clone commando squad, the Bad Batch. And no, I don't count Omega, at least not yet anyways. Here they are with a
Clankers.
And then here they are with their leader, Clone Commando Boss. All we need is Scorch.
Oh yeah, it's all coming together.
And that is basically it for my review on the Star Wars The Black Series, Republic Commando, Fixer, and Sev. And oh yes, I am really pleased with both of these figures. Yes, they are just repaints of a figure that I already have, but that's the whole point. A lot of these clones are clones of each other. I don't think repaints of clones should be something that's like not allowed. I mean, that's the whole point of the clones. Plus, I think it just works with army building. And again, there's an entire squad of these guys, and I just have one more left to go. So it's like, the whole point is to get multiples of these guys because you're supposed to have multiples of these guys. And again, I feel like it's mostly also part if you actually have played the game, because the game I really, really love. I love the Republic Commando game. And so I feel really nostalgic for these figures, but anyone who may have not played the game and they only really care about the clones, or maybe they don't even care about the clones that much, might not really care about these, and these are an easy pass for you. But for me, I am really happy with these guys. They're pretty accurate to the game. I just wish they maybe had just a teeny bit more expressiveness in their head. Maybe you could have given them a neck that could extend a little bit just to allow more expressiveness. And then I also feel like the hips could have been solved a little bit better. But that's not just on these guys, that's all clone figures in general. And other than that, I really feel like they could have used maybe a couple other extra guns or weapons or accessories. Maybe one of them should come with a Bacta station. So anyway, that is really it for this review. If I had to give these guys ratings, I give the Fixer a solid 10 out of 10 and the Sev a 10 out of 10, I guess. Well, that's a little too far. I'm going to give them 9 out of 10 for both. So yeah, that is basically it for my review on Sev on these two figures. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to give me a like on the video, comment down below what you guys think, subscribe to the channel for more Star Wars and action figure videos, and I'll catch you guys next time, and may the Force be with you always.